All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it'll be a great one between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans. The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And right away, he lost the football. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 67 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Texans take over first and 10. Let's go! 25-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something. 24. Flare. Go.
Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
47. Stop your whining. Jim. Check three. Alert. Say it. Check 52. Quick dad. To the car.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
From the gun, here's Watson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the gun on third, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, Michel. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Rosen to throw on third down. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is fielded at the 7. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Mike, 55. Mike, let's go.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Running from the shotgun with Drake. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, Rosen. He gets it to Brown, complete. Second catch of this AFC title game, and he's got a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And now it's Rosen looking. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Let's go.
Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Eluding the pressure right. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently, so that's just going to be an incompletion. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Let's put him on the buses. 43's the mic. 43's the mic. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
Out of the gun, Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Benardrick McKinney. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is fielded inside the 5. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Watson. On the run, he'll let this go deeper. And got his man, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
From the gun, Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Watch out. Tight end right. Alert. 3 out.
Watson operating from the gun. Escaping the pressure right. He's got the hook up here, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Watson on 1st down. Flushed out right, and he's going to keep it here. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Check, 43. 6 man.
Hey, 31.
Check cross. 43 is the mic.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Now second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Flush to his right. And he's got a man here, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this, and that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big pickup of 38. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They begin with Michel on the ground. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now it's Rosen. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll run out of the gun with Michel. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Drake will start the drive on the ground. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Got a man, it's Brown. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Rosen. And it's caught by Parker. Tally, that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Take four.
From the gun, it's Dre. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A Miami first down. That one going for a gain of 11.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 42-yard line.
1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Don't get nervous.
Again, it's Michel. There he goes inside the 30. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
And this is what coaches talk about, never being satisfied. No matter what the lead, always trying to increase it. You never know what can happen in this NFL.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Texans 9.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 in the first. On first down, Watson dancing to his left. He'll run it. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
We're set. 19. 59. Check pass. Check pass.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Marcus Green there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Running, it's Drake. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TV. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's right.
Anytime we have
That's
a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
They're going to try and run. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, you know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. They'll run with Drake. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Let's go. Let's go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Rosen to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. Call that a very strong gain of 24. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll run on first down. Michel, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Drake. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, Michel. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. On second down now, Michel. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in, Michel, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. this to take the lead here in the final minute. The kick by Sanders is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Rush in.
Watson now to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They will take a knee here and cue the celebrations. They are off to the Super Bowl. And all that hard work has paid off. They're AFC champions, and on to the Super Bowl they go.
It's got to be an amazing feeling for them, doesn't it, Brandon? The idea that you've done it all that hard work, all that sweating, all that effort, all those times you're getting yelled at by your coach, and now you get to go to the Super Bowl. Put your hats on, guys, and say AFC champs.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.